I can't take this anymore. It took me a whole month just to make the character. Now to make the whole game? I can't do this on my own. What? Who are you guys?
Well, well, well. Look who came crawling back.
Alright guys, now that we all know how to model and we're all modeling pros, it's time to make a game. Guys, we only have a couple months of summer left. If we want to go somewhere with our game, we gotta start now!
Well, where should we start?
No,
Okay,
actually,
let's
let's
start
do
with
this
start
and
making the
this.
demos.
We should actually do this instead of
We can do the models. No, wait. Hello?
We better there,
Are you
but
listening?
let's do
Hello?
that part, so I think
What are
we
you
should
guys
do this,
talking
but
about?
I'm
No.
not sure if we have
I'll
to add
work
this
on
or
it.
this.
So while they were arguing, I was able to start on the project. I had an idea for a multiplayer party game, with food as a central theme. Now that I had a concept, I needed to come up with a title for the game. I had a bunch of ideas, but I couldn't decide which one to pick, so I asked my teammates. And yeah, of course it was a unanimous decision. And so we decided to name our game Cuisine Clash. Now that we had a name, it was time to start working. Cue the montage. And we're done. Now you may be thinking, oh Aaron, how's this a game? You just made some shapes and call it a day. Well, that's where scripts come in. Scripts are what control objects in Unity. To add movement to our character, I grabbed the movement script I had from a previous game and I tossed it into my project. Then, I added the movement script for my player, and now he moves. Now that there's a single player we could control, it's time to add multiplayer. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to do that, so it's time to watch some YouTube tutorials. Hey, this one looks pretty promising. It's got a playlist and everything. Well, since that's gonna take multiple hours and I don't have time for that, I'm just gonna take a break.
Yo, I've been waiting for like a week to see what you did.
Hey, my door. Whatever, just come look.
Right now, our game is trash. And so it's up to me to make good game modes to make it all better. Let me do some quick research. Now that we finished our research, let's look at our games. We have Rainy Meatball, Hot Potato, and Eat the Cake. Now that we have our games, let's do some coding. Starting now. And boom! That's done. Let's see how long it took. Yup, it took 1,264 hours and 52 minutes to make 3 game modes. But hey, it might have taken 52 days to finish all 3 game modes, but at least we have perfectly working code, right? Well, there you have it. That's all 3 game modes done. While they might not be all perfectly 100% completed, I think I got a lot done in a couple of months. Wait a minute.
Get behind you!
What?
What do you want me to do? I don't even know how to model. Never mind, I think I'm actually ready to go learn. Honestly, how back in learning Blender even be? I'm thinking this takes maybe max 1 or 2 weeks. What happened? Long story short, it took longer than 2 weeks to even do. Most of my time was spent scrolling through YouTube tutorials, just trying to learn it, and well, my attention span is equal to a 5-year-old, so it took a little longer than I thought. In the end, I was actually able to make some pretty cool looking food models and actually learn how to use Blender. Yes, some of them were straight from tutorials, but that's beside the point. Now that I had the basics down and actually had most of my props made, I have to do the actual hard part now, making the maps. To be honest, I spent a lot of my time in my bed doing a whole lot of nothing, but during those times where I was actually working hard and not being a little lazy boy, I'm actually pretty proud of what I was able to make. Well, 2 months already passed by, and with all my hard work, the total amount of maps that I was able to create was... By the end of the summer, I made a total of 4 different maps, each one specific to their own game mode. Especially for someone who just started 2 months ago, I'm honestly very satisfied with what I was able to do. I kinda just slapped together whatever models I had, and well, it somehow worked. For the future, obviously, I'm gonna have to improve, but that will have to come at a later time. Now that all my maps are done, I can finally see what it looks like on Unity.
What the f?
Whoa! We already have a pretty good basis for our game. Now it's time for me to clean up the game a little bit and make it look actually playable. Because if you look at the UI right now... Yeah, let's fix that. So after making a few small models for the game, I went straight to work for the user interface. I didn't really know where to start, so while I was scrolling through some existing UIs on the internet, I kinda realized, hey, we kinda need a theme for it. So I decided to create all the UI with an idea of a diner, because you know, I guess about food. And after choosing a color scheme, I went straight to work making the UI with the best utility available, Canva. Hey, I wanted to use Photoshop, but this was the next best thing. And you know, maybe if our game actually blows up and we make the big bucks, then yeah, we'll get to that. By combining some shapes together and molding them to fit, I finally made some buttons and stuff that we can actually use instead of the basic shapes we had before. Now let me drag this here, move this in place here, get this table into the right spot, and boom! Now we have a main menu with a pretty nice looking menu space. Now let's click play and see. After a few small additions, we now have a fully functioning UI that makes our lobbies look, well, like an actual lobby. It's not the best looking, but puffing up for the big boy stage, that can come at a later time. Man, where's Brian been? No one's even touched the character model since.
I'll summon him back, like how I summoned Manny. Ah!
Hey guys, what's going on?
Yo, where were you?
Who said you took a break for that long?
Sorry guys, I'm sorry.
No leaving until you finish.
So hey guys, since I'm trapped in here, I got no choice but to work. So I actually went ahead and made a lot more poses and animations for my characters, including things like a idle, a jump, and a lot of other random stuff for plans we have. I then took this model to Unity, like slapped it in, but then you instantly see a pretty big problem. There's no animations. And that's because I actually got connected to a mod through this thing called an animator. And you just looking at pictures online, this thing looks like the whole Spider-Verse right here. Luckily for me, I'm gonna do my own thing. But by doing my own thing, I actually meant copying 3 YouTube videos on how to animate. But it got the job done. Look at it, guys. I can idle, I can run, I can jump. The transitions could be a little bit better, but I'll figure that out later. But this means my first task is done. Guys, I finished animating. Can I get food now?
I guess you can have a Twinkie.
Oh, thanks. But when can I leave?
Model some stuff for the lobby first.
Oh man. So I want to model this area where you walk around before the game starts because I don't know if you noticed, but it's pretty empty and trash right now. So to follow the food theme, I want to make it a kitchen. More specifically, they'll be on the table, but I still gotta model the rest of the kitchen because it's a part of the background. So I went back to slaving my life away on Blender until I made most of the pieces I needed. But you see that it's all separate, not really forming a scene, right? But I just need to go. And whoa, would you look at that? It's all together with some other models that came out of nowhere. And that means I'm finally free to leave. I can finally go home. I can like see my family.
Yo, Brian, we got a meeting.
Oh yeah, let me just... I'm out of here. Man, what the heck?
So, guys, summer's over, and we haven't finished. Man, making a game is hard.
You know, maybe we'll finish it in part 2.
Man, I wonder what our next adventure will be.